Fake divorce. Just 1 month. Chen Hao slid the divorce agreement across the table to me. I glanced at it. The house goes to him. The car goes to him. The savings get split 50-50. 50-50. I laughed. There's only 30,000 in the account. You want to take 15,000. It's just a formality. He frowned. I have to guarantee a loan for a friend. I need my name clear of any liabilities. I looked into his eyes. He looked away. Fine. I picked up the pen. He visibly relaxed. He didn't know it. But I'd been waiting for this day for 3 years. 1. The day we signed. Chen Hao took a half day off work. Outside the Civil Affairs Bureau. He put on a little show. Sorry you have to do this, babe, he said, holding my hand. 1 month. Tops. I'll handle my friend's situation. Then we remarry. I nodded. I've got it all arranged. You can stay at my mom's place for now. No need. I pulled my hand back. I'll go to my parents' house. He paused. Your parents? Wouldn't that be inconvenient? We're divorced now. What would I be doing at your mom's? He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. When we went through the process, the clerk asked if we'd thought it through. Chen Hao jumped in. We have. I also said. We have. He relaxed again. Outside the bureau. He offered to drive me to my parents' place. No need. I hailed a taxi. You go do your thing. 50 meters down the road. I saw him in the rearview mirror, standing there making a phone call. His expression was easy, even smiling. I looked away and sent a WeChat to my best friend. Jo Min. It's done. She wrote back instantly. What now? Wait. I leaned back in my seat and closed my eyes. 5 years ago, when I married Chen Hao, I thought I was marrying for love. He was 3 years older, a sales manager at a private company, making about 20,000 a month. I was an elementary school teacher, making 8,000 a month, later raised to 12,000. When we got married, we bought a place on the east side of the city. The down payment was 800,000. I put in 500,000 me savings from 5 years of work plus 200,000 my parents gave me. He put in 300,000. The monthly mortgage was 8,000. I paid 5. VE. He paid 3. After we married, I thought we were building a life together. He thought I was an ATM. The turning point came 3 years ago. I came home early one day and heard him on the balcony, on the phone. Don't worry. Just wait a little longer. Once the timing's right, I'll dump her. I stood in the living room, frozen. He hung up, turned around, saw me. His face flickered for a second, then went back to normal. Who was that? I asked. A client. A difficult one. He smiled and walked over. Why are you home so early? I looked into his eyes. I didn't say anything. From that day on, I started paying attention. I opened a bank account he didn't know about and put away 2,000 every month. I quietly checked the property deed. I pulled his credit report and looked at the assets in his name. The more I dug, the colder I felt. 5 years of marriage. And he'd started a company under his name. Registered capital. 500,000. I had no idea. And our joint savings account never held more than about 30,000. Where did the money go? I didn't ask. If I asked, he'd have 100 excuses. I just waited for him to slip up. And now, finally, he'd made his move. A fake divorce. The reason? To guarantee a loan for a friend. Ridiculous. The friend he was helping. I'd already looked her up. She was a woman, too. Back at my parents' house, my mom looked worried. Are you sure it's just 1 month? Mom, I know what I'm doing. What about the house? Whose name is on it? His. My mom panicked. Are you crazy? You paid most of the down payment. And most of the mortgage. Mom. I took her hand. It's a fake divorce. It's not real. We remarry in a month. And the house will be both of ours again. That was Chen Hao's story. My mom looked skeptical. Well, you'd better keep an eye on things. Don't worry. My dad sat on the side, smoking, not saying a word. After Mom went into the kitchen to cook, he finally spoke. Sweetheart, Are you hiding something from us? I looked at him. You've been like this since you were little. The bigger the thing, the less you say. He tapped his ash. But whatever decision you've made, Dad's got your back. My eyes stung a little. Dad. I might be staying here for a while. Stay as long as you need. That night, Chin Hao texted. Make it home. Yeah, good. Rest up. Once things are done on this end, I'll come get you. Okay. The screen went dark. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The next day, I took some paid time off. Jo Min asked me, how are you going to investigate? Start with the woman. You know who she is. Yeah. I handed her my phone. I found out a year ago. On the screen was a photo. A young woman, maybe 26. Long hair. Delicate features. The background was a cafe. Sitting across from her was Chin Hao. They were both smiling. This is Jo Min's eyes widened. Wang Wanqing. His company's accountant. I said. That company Chin Hao supposedly started on his own. She's a partner. How do you know? Public business records. 2 shareholders. Chen Hao holds 60%. Wang Wanqing 40%. Jo Min sucked in a breath. And there's more. I pulled up another image. This is another property under Chen Hao's name. On the west side of the city. 83 square meters. What? He has another house. Bought it 2 years ago. Down payment 400,000. Loan of 1.2 million. The mailing address on the purchase contract is Wang Wanqing's place. Jo Min stared at me. How long have you been digging? On and off. 3 years. She was quiet for a moment. Then why didn't you confront him earlier? I didn't have enough evidence. I put the phone away. And I wanted to see just how far he'd go. And now. I smiled. He handed himself to me on a silver platter. Under the fake divorce agreement. The house went to him. The car went to him. That house was worth 3.5 million. The car was worth 230,000. The joint savings listed only 30,000. He thought I didn't know his company had made over 800,000 in profit last year. He thought I didn't know about the other house on the west side. He thought I was an idiot. He planned to use a fake divorce to leave me with nothing. Then get together openly with that woman. Too bad he picked the wrong mark. 3 days after the divorce, Chin Hao called. Honey. Sue ran. The guarantee thing is getting a little complicated. Might take a few more days. My voice was calm. How long? Maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, don't worry. When it's done, I'll come get you and bring you home. Sure. After I hung up, I stared at the call log. He already stopped calling me honey. That changed fast. Jo Min took me out to eat and asked about my next move. I'm going to see someone. Who? Chin Hao's mother. What do you need to see her for? Test the waters. The next day, I brought some fruit to my mother-in-law's ex-mother-in-law's house. When she saw me, her expression flickered with awkwardness for a second, then quickly returned to normal. Sue ran. Come in. Hello, Auntie. Just came to see you. She took the fruit. You're so sweet. Even after the divorce, I smiled coldly inside, but my face stayed neutral. Auntie, what's Chin Hao been up to lately? He said he was guaranteeing a loan for a friend. Who's this friend? Her hand paused. Oh, I don't really know. I don't ask about Hao's business. Really? I smiled. Would that friend be named Wang? Her expression froze. Wang Wanqing. Right. I looked at her. Auntie, have you met her? The living room went quiet for a few seconds. She put down the fruit, her expression darkening. Sue ran. What are you getting at? Nothing much. I stood up. Just asking. She pointed at me. You're divorced now, and you still come looking for trouble. Auntie, I'm not looking for trouble. I picked up my bag. Your son came looking for me first. A fake divorce. Ha, that was for your own good. After the guarantee thing is settled. Auntie, I cut her off. How old is the child Wang Wanqing had for him? Her face went white completely. I walked to the door and looked back. Tell Chin Hao I've got a surprise for him. Outside the apartment complex. I called Jo Min. I was right. There's a child. How did you confirm it? Her reaction. I took a deep breath. And now I finally understand what Chin Hao meant 3 years ago when he said, "Once the timing's right, I'll dump her." Joe Min went quiet on the other end. Their child should be about 2 years old. I said, "The timing fits. 3 years ago was right around when that pregnancy would have started." Sue ran. "I'm okay." My voice was steady. I've been mentally prepared for a long time, but after I hung up, I squatted by the side of the road and cried for a long time. Not because I was heartbroken, because the breath I'd been holding for 3 years finally had a way out. 4. Chin Hao found out quickly that I'd gone to see his mother. He called, his tone clearly off. Sue ran. "What were you doing at my mom's?" "Just visiting her." "What did you tell her about Wang Wanqing?" "Nothing. Just asked who the friend was that needed a guarantee." A few seconds of silence on the line. Sue ran. "What exactly are you trying to do?" "Me." I laughed. "I'm not trying to do anything. The question is, Chin Hao, what are you trying to do?" He hung up. That night, he showed up outside my parents' building. Sue ran. "Let's talk." I went downstairs and stood in front of him. "About what? Have you been digging into something?" His eyes kept darting away. "What do you think?" He licked his lips. "Wang Wanqing. She's just my business partner. Don't get the wrong idea." "Business partner." I nodded. "And the house on the west side, yes, that a business project too." His face changed. "Your company made over 800,000 in profit last year. Your share would be 600,000. Where is that money?" He took a step back. "How? How do you know all this?" "Chin Hao." I looked at him. "Did you think I was an idiot?" He opened his mouth but couldn't speak. "The fake divorce agreement. House to you. Car to you. Half of 30,000 in savings." I spoke slowly, deliberately. "You were planning to leave me with nothing and get together openly with Wang Wanqing, weren't you?" His composure finally cracked. Sue ran. "Let me explain." "I don't want to hear it." I turned and walked toward the building. "Wait." He ran after me. "The divorce agreement is already signed. You can't back out now." I stopped, turned around. "Who said I wanted to back out?" He froze. "Chin Hao, I signed that divorce agreement. I don't regret it." I said, "I'm just telling you. I have a lot more than you think." "What? What do you mean?" "Nothing much." I smiled. "Think about everything you've done to me over the past 5 years. Then wait for my lawyer's letter." I went inside the building and didn't look back. Behind me, I heard his voice. "Sue ran. Sue ran. Stop right there." I ignored him. As the unit door clicked shut, I heard him kicking it from outside. Sue ran. "Don't push me." I pressed the elevator button. My heart was pounding, but my hands were steady. 5. Over the next week, I started organizing my evidence. Joe Min helped me find a lawyer who specialized in divorce cases. Her name was Lawyer Zhang. She was in her 40s, sharp and efficient. I gave her everything I'd collected over the past few years. She flipped through it for half an hour, then looked up. "Ms. Sue, you've prepared very thoroughly. Can we win? First, tell me what you want." 1. The house. "I want to claim the actual proportion of my down payment and monthly payments." She nodded. "Down payment 800,000. You put in 500,000. He put in 300,000. 5 years of mortgage payments total 480,000. You paid 300,000. He paid 180,000. Your total contribution is 800,000. His is 480,000. That gives you 62.5%. Exactly." Second, his company. I said. "It was started after we married. Using marital assets. I want my share." She glanced at the documents. Registered capital 500,000. Last year's profit 830,000. "Do you have proof of the company's financials?" "Yes." I handed her a USB drive. "His accountant, that's Wang Wanking, filed taxes last year. Those numbers are in there." She plugged in the drive, looked at the files, and raised an eyebrow. "How did you get these?" He hasn't changed his computer password in 3 years. Lawyer Zhang smiled. What else? The house on the west side. I said. He bought it during the marriage. Down payment 400,000. I want to trace the source of those funds. If you can prove the down payment came from marital assets, you can claim an interest in that house too. I can prove it. I said. 3 years ago. There were 2 large transfers from our joint account to his personal account. One for 200,000. One for 150,000. He said it was an investment. I didn't ask questions at the time. Do the dates line up with the home purchase? Yes. The first transfer came 2 months before purchase. The second a week before. Lawyer Zhang closed the file. Ms. Su, let me ask you one more thing. Go ahead. What is Wang Wanqing to him? I looked at her. Most likely his mistress. Any evidence? Yes. What kind? They have a child. I took a breath. Over 2 years old. Lawyer Zhang's expression turned serious. Has paternity been established? Not yet. But I have photos of them together. Records of Chen Hao transferring child support to her. And photos she posted on social media. That only shows a close relationship. Not that the child is his. I know. I said. That's why I need time. Lawyer Zhang thought for a moment. What's your plan? I want him to admit it himself. She looked at me. How will you make him admit it? He's panicking right now. I said. The fake divorce is done. He thought he had everything locked down. But now I've started investigating. And he doesn't know how much I have. He'll make a mistake. Lawyer Zhang nodded. What do you need from me? Wait for my signal. Outside the law firm. I sent Chen Hao a WeChat. Meet tomorrow. We need to talk. He replied instantly. About what? Asset division. The divorce agreement is already signed. An agreement is one thing. The law is another. Think it over. He didn't reply, but I knew he was panicking. 6. We met at a cafe. When I arrived, Chen Hao was already there. He looked worn out, dark circles under his eyes. Stubble on his chin. Su ran. What do you want? I sat down and looked at him. I want to know how you plan to handle this. Handle what? The house on the west side. Your company shares. And all the money you moved out of our joint account over the past 5 years. His fingers tightened around his coffee cup. I earned that money myself. You earned it yourself. I laughed. Chen Hao. In the 5 years we were married. How much did you contribute to the household each month? He didn't answer. Let me do the math for you. I ticked off my fingers. Mortgage. You paid 3,000. Utilities and maintenance. Maybe 5,000 a year. Household expenses. Basically nothing. Gifts for holidays and birthdays. I bought them. Over 5 years. You put less than 300,000 into this family. So what? So what? Your salary plus commission was at least 300,000 a year. Times 5. That's 1.5 million. Where did that money go? His face darkened. Company registered capital. 500,000. West Side house down payment. 400,000. Plus all the money you gave Wang Wanqing. Shut up. He slammed the table. Other people in the cafe turned to look. I didn't move. I just looked at him. Chen Hao. Why are you getting so worked up? My voice was soft. I'm not finished. His chest heaved. How much have you transferred to Wang Wanqing? I continued. I checked your Alipay. 3 years. Every month. 8,000. That's almost 300,000. That's the money you've been sending to support your child, isn't it? His face went white. How old is that child? I asked. 2. 2.5. He stared at me with the look of a cornered animal. Su ran. What do you want? His voice was hoarse. What I want. You can't give me. I stood up. But what I can take. I won't leave a penny behind. You want to ruin me. You're not worth ruining. I picked up my bag. I just want what's mine. Chen Hao. Think carefully. Do you want an out-of-court settlement? Or do you want a judge to decide? Just you wait. He shot up from his chair. Don't think I'm afraid of you. I don't need you to be afraid of me. I looked at him. I just need the judge to believe me. Outside the cafe, I texted Lawyer Zhang. He's rattled. Time for the next step. Lawyer Zhang replied. How's the Wang Wanqing investigation coming? Still working on it. I hailed a taxi and gave an address. The West Side. The house Chen Hao bought. 7. When I got to the West Side neighborhood, I didn't go in. I found a spot in the shopping center across the street, ordered a coffee, and waited. A little after 4 in the afternoon, a young woman came out of the neighborhood pushing a stroller. It was her, Wang Wanqing. She looked younger than in the photos. Casual clothes, long hair in a ponytail. In the stroller sat a little boy, about 2 years old. His face looked about 60 or 70% like Chen Hao. I took out my phone and snapped a few pictures. She pushed the stroller to a small park near the neighborhood. I followed at a distance. She sat down on a bench and took out some snacks to feed the child. I hesitated, then walked over. Hello. She looked up, wary. Who are you? My name is Su Ran, I said. Chen Hao's ex-wife. Her face went pale. What are you doing here? She instinctively moved to shield the child. Relax. I don't mean any harm. I sat down next to her. I just wanted to see who it was that my husband spent 5 years lying to me for. She bit her lip and didn't speak. I looked at the little boy. He really does look like him. What do I? Oh, you want? Her voice trembled. I don't want anything, I said. I just want to ask you a few questions. Why should I answer you? Because you're a victim too. She froze. Wang Wanqing. I turned to look at her. Chen Hao told you he would divorce me and marry you, didn't he? Her eyes flickered. He said once the timing was right, he'd dump me, and the two of you could be together openly. Right. She didn't answer, but her expression said it all. The fake divorce, I said. Was that your idea together? Yes. Her voice was very small. He told you that after the fake divorce, the house and car would be in his name, and then he could marry you legally. She nodded. I laughed. Then let me tell you something, I said. 3 days after Chen Hao and I signed the fake divorce papers, he had dinner twice with another woman. Her face went white. What? A client of his. Surname Li. I pulled out my phone and showed her a photo. In the photo, Chen Hao was laughing and chatting with a woman in business attire at a restaurant. I had someone follow him for a week, I said. He met with her 3 times. They went to look at an apartment together. Wang Wanqing's hands were shaking. You're lying. Why would I lie? I put my phone away. Wang Wanqing, did you really think you were special? Did you really think once he got divorced, he'd marry you? He said. He said what? I looked at her. 3 years ago. He said he was going to dump me. Why did he wait until now? Because he's been waiting for a better option. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I stood up. Wang Wanqing, I don't hate you, I said. Because we're both women, he fooled. But there's something you need to think about. What? Whether you have any leverage on him. I looked at her. If you do, hold on to it. You'll need it. I turned and left. Behind me, I heard the child crying, and her sobs. I didn't look back. 8. 3 days later, Wang Wanqing asked to meet. Same park. She came alone. Without the child. Sister Su Ran. She said. I didn't correct her. You were right. There's someone else. She handed me her phone. On the screen was a chat log. Conversation between Chen Hao and a contact labeled sweetheart. My wife wants a fake divorce. I'm playing along. Once I transfer the assets out, we can be together. What about Wang Wanqing? Her. Just a stepping stone. I needed her money and help when I started the company. Now the company's on solid ground, and her usefulness is about up. I read the messages. I didn't know what to feel. This man was even more disgusting than I'd imagined. When is this from? I asked. Last month. Wang Wanqing's eyes were red. I found that contact on his phone and took screenshots without him knowing. Do you know who Sweetheart is? No. But I traced the phone number linked to that WeChat account. It belongs to a female client of his. I handed her back the phone. Wang Wanqing, what do you want? She looked at me. I want him to pay. What does that look like to you? I can testify that he cheated during the marriage, transferred assets, lied to both of us. Her voice shook but held firm. I also have his company's real books. He had me keep 2 sets, one for the tax authorities and the real one. I looked at her. You know that coming forward could hurt you too. I know. She dropped her head. But I'm done being lied to. For 3 years, I gave him a child, helped him run the company, and got nothing in return. What about the child? I'll raise him myself. She lifted her head, and there was a kind of fierce resolve in her eyes. I don't want his money. I just want him ruined. I was quiet for a moment. Okay, I said. Let's work together. She handed me a USB drive. This is his company's real financial records for the past 3 years, she said, plus our chat history, transfer records, and... She paused. And the results from the paternity test he made me get. When I secretly kept a copy for myself. Paternity test. He wanted me to get it. He was afraid the child wasn't his. She laughed bitterly. Of course it's his. I kept a copy. I took the USB drive. My heart was beating faster. This was the last piece. Wang Wanqing, I said. Are you sure? I'm sure. She looked at me. Sister Su Ran. I know what I did was wrong. I deserved to be lied to. But he shouldn't get to walk away clean. I nodded. He won't. 9. The lawyer's letter went out on a Friday. Chen Hao called on Saturday. Su Ran. Are you out of your fucking mind? I put the call on speaker. My voice clear. What's wrong? You're suing me. You had a lawyer subpoena my company. What the hell do you think you're doing? What am I doing? My voice was calm. Getting what's mine. What's yours? We signed the divorce agreement. The house and car are mine. Chen Hao. I said. Do you know what concealment of marital assets is? He went silent. During our marriage, you transferred joint savings into personal accounts. You used that money to start a company, buy a house, and support your mistress and child. That's concealment of marital property. You have no proof. No proof. I laughed. The 2 sets of books you had Wang Wanqing keep. I have both. The line went quiet. Plus your chat logs with sweetheart. The ones where you called Wang Wanqing a stepping stone and me an ATM. Are those enough? That bitch Wang Wanqing. Don't bother cursing her. I said. You have 2 choices. What choices? 1. Out of court settlement. Figure out exactly how much marital property you hid, and give me my share. I won't pursue anything else. 2. We go to court. I'll make every detail public, the cheating, the asset transfers, the way you've lied to multiple women. Think about how your company's clients will see you then. He was quiet for a long time. How much do you want? I'm not greedy. The house, based on actual contribution. I put in 800,000. You put in 480,000. I want 60%. 60%. That's more than $1 million. You still have the West Side house. I said. The down payment of 400,000 came from our joint account. I want that 400,000 back. What else? Your company started during the marriage. I want 60% of the profit. Last year's profit was 830,000. I want 500,000. 500,000. Why don't you just rob me? How much do you think a judge would award? My voice turned cold. Chen Hao, I'm being generous. If you don't agree, we'll see you in court. He hung up. I knew he'd agree, because he couldn't afford to lose. 10. Chen Hao sent his parents to plead with him. My ex-mother-in-law and ex-father-in-law showed up together at my parents' doorstep. Su Ran. This is too much. My ex-mother-in-law jabbed a finger at me. What did our Hao ever do to you? You want to destroy him? I looked at her. Auntie, what exactly did Chen Hao do to me? Tell me. He just made a little mistake that any man could make. Do you have to be so ruthless? A little mistake any man could make. I laughed. Starting a company without telling me. Buying a house without telling me. Having a child with another woman without telling me. Those are little mistakes any man could make. My ex-father-in-law tried to mediate. Su Ran. Let's talk this through. There's no need to blow things up. Blow things up. I looked at them. Who started this? The fake divorce. Putting the house and car in his name. Did you really think I was stupid? My ex-mother-in-law's face reddened. That was because. Because what? I cut her off. Because you already knew about Wang Wanqing. Because you've been waiting for me to leave. She couldn't speak. Auntie, I said. Last time I visited your house, I asked you about Wang Wanqing. Do you remember your reaction? You knew about her. You knew about the child. You knew everything. Her face went white. You're Chen Hao's mother. I understand you wanting to protect him, I said. But that doesn't make it right to help him lie to me. My ex-father-in-law tugged at her arm. Come on. Let's go. Go. She shook him off. Sue ran. If you don't agree today, this isn't over. Not over. I pulled out my phone. Auntie, how exactly do you want this to end? I showed her the screen. It was an audio recording. Last winter. You called Chen Hao and told him to dump me so Wang Wanqing could move in. I pressed play. My ex-mother-in-law's voice came out of the phone. How? You need to hurry up with the Sue Ran situation. Wanqing already gave you a son. You can't make her wait too long. My ex-mother-in-law's face went completely white. Auntie, I put away my phone. Do you still want to keep going? Her lips quivered. She couldn't say a word. My ex-father-in-law's expression was also grim. Let's go, he said, pulling her. We're leaving. She pointed at me. Just you wait. I watched their backs. I didn't move. My mom came out of the house and took my hand. Sweetheart. Are you okay? I'm fine, I said. It's almost over. 11. The final mediation took place at the courthouse. Chen Hao brought a lawyer. But after looking over my evidence, his lawyer's expression turned strange. Mr. Chen. Lawyer Zhang pushed the documents toward him. This is a complete record of the marital assets you concealed. Take a look. Do you have anything to say? Chen Hao's face was dark enough to drip water. And this. Lawyer Zhang pulled out another document. A sworn statement from Ms. Wang Wanqing. She testifies that you deceived her into a romantic relationship, extracting both emotional and financial investment, and then attempted to discard her once the company was stable. She's lying. Lying. Lawyer Zhang smiled. Your own chat logs say her usefulness is about up. Is that a lie too? Chen Hao's lawyer whispered something to him. Chen Hao gritted his teeth. What exactly do you want? What I want is clearly stated in the complaint, I said. The house to be divided based on contribution, return of marital assets that were concealed, distribution of company profits in proportion, over my dead body. Chen Hao. I looked at him. Do you have another choice? He glared at me. If you don't agree to mediation, we'll go to trial, and then everything you've done will become a public court record. Your clients, your business partners, everyone you know, they'll all see exactly who you are. His fists clenched. And one more thing. I took another document from my bag. This is from Wang Wanqing. She asked me to give it to you. He took it, glanced at it, and went pale. It was a lawsuit. Wang Wanqing was suing him for emotional deception and financial fraud, demanding the return of the 200,000 she'd invested in his company plus damages for emotional distress. You two conspired against me. Conspired. I stood up. Chen Hao, you did this to yourself. I walked up to him. You lied to me for 5 years. You lied to her for 3. And you were already lining up a third. I looked into his eyes. Did you really think every woman is an idiot? He opened his mouth but nothing came out. Are you going to sign the mediation agreement or not? His hands were shaking. I'll sign. I'll sign. The pen almost fell out of his hand as he signed. Outside the courthouse. I looked up at the sky. 5 years. It was finally over. 12. 1 year later. I bought a small 2-bedroom near my new school. 76 square meters. Down payment 400,000. Monthly mortgage 3,500. The deed had only my name on it. My salary had gone up to 15,000. Plus tutoring on the side. bringing me to just over 20,000 a month. Life wasn't luxurious, but every cent was my own. On the weekend, Jo Min came to see me. "The place looks nice," she said, looking around the living room. "It's enough for one person. It's enough. How's Chin Hao doing these days?" I poured her some tea. Broke. Her eyes lit up. "Really? Wang Wanqing won her lawsuit. He had to pay her 280,000. With what I took. He didn't have much cash left. He sold the West Side house to cover his debts and transferred the company." "What about Wang Wanqing?" "She went back to her hometown with the child," I said. "She came to see me before she left. She thanked me." "She thanked you?" "She said if it weren't for me, she'd still be getting lied to." Jo Min shook her head. "What a mess. Everyone has their own path," I said. "She's had it hard too." "What about you?" She looked at me. "Planning to stay single?" "I'm not thinking about that right now." "Anyone interested in you?" I smiled and didn't answer. After Jo Min left, I sat alone on the balcony. The sunset was painting the edge of the sky orange. My phone buzzed. A WeChat message. The sender was labeled Mr. Z. "Free this weekend. There's a new Hunan restaurant. Want to try it together?" I looked at the message and didn't reply immediately. Outside the window, children were playing in the courtyard below, their laughter clear and bright. I remembered a time 5 years ago when I'd hoped for scenes like that. A person, a home, a child. But I learned that some people will never give you those things. The phone screen went dark, then lit up again. Mr. Z had sent another message. "I'll wait for your reply." I typed, "Okay, see you this weekend." Sent. Then I put the phone down and went back to watching the sunset. Life is long. No need to rush.